Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
What's up, Sacramento? You got Nate Littlefield today. No Scott Marsh. He's out with UC Davis. Good luck to him. No Jason Ross either with Sac State today. But you know who is here? Who's always here? The high flyer, Henry Turner. Henry, how you doing?
Man, I got the A-team today, baby. What's happening?
Yeah.
This is the first time we work together, man.
Yeah, doing a show. Yeah,
nice.
I'm into it.
You're usually behind the board.
Yep, I'm usually messing the buttons up.
I'm going to say, you usually bringing me my music, dog. You be getting me hyped in there. I'm like, look at Nate, got me going.
You called me out early on, and I made it a point to be like, all right, I gotta make it work.
Yeah, so. And I would hate to have to walk back there and just choke you.
Yeah, I would hate that too.
Because you know I do it.
Yeah, I know you will.
All right.
I know you'll do it right now if I do something stupid.
Yeah, you got me right, though. You be having me right.
Well, let's see how Kyle does today. I don't know. A lot of pressure on him, huh?
Kyle's a different dude, bro.
Yeah.
Don't even bring him into this.
That's okay.
Well, you know what we got to do, though? We got to talk about the Kings Warriors again, like the fifth time in, 10 minutes it feels like?
I like it, Nate. For some reason, man, I'm for it. I'm sorry. For some reason, I am for it. Let's just throw this out there. Kings-Lakers rivalry is long gone.
Yeah.
It's long gone. Our fans held on to that as long as they possibly could, but that rivalry has been long gone. I've talked to a lot of people in the Lakers organization over the years. They were like, no, not really.
Yeah.
You guys aren't that.
I don't blame them either.
But our fans held on to that. Now, what we got going with the Golden State Warriors, I am buying it. Okay. Kings took them to 7, which I love that.
Yeah.
Took them to 7, took a Herculean effort by Steph to win. You had your little riff with Sabonis and Draymond.
Yeah.
Right? So all of that went down, and then the preseason came. And all of a sudden, preseason is like, okay, they went 7. They called them the rivalry, the best of the Bay, Northern California. Who's going to be the best? You got the old heads up there in Golden State. They're moving on. Yeah. Young De'Aaron Fox, young Sabonis. It's going to be the passing of the torch. All of this talk is going on.
Yeah.
And then preseason hit.
Yeah.
Both of these teams play each other. This is supposed to be preseason. Down in the Bay. They play here, regular game. But when it goes down to the Bay, you got all the guys on the floor. And all of a sudden, Steve Kerr called his guys out, but the Kings want to win, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Golden State see that. They put their guys back in. Now they want to win.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about a preseason game where you got all your stars out there on the floor trying to win a preseason game, going hard, going right at it. Rivalry.
It felt like game 8. It felt like it never ended.
Yeah, exactly. Rivalry.
It was a little weird, though. After the game, Fox was like, I'm kind of glad Steph hit that 3, get the game over. So I think some people may have been a little upset that he wasn't angry enough, because I know you talk about Lakers Kings, you talk about preseason Doug Christie, giving a knuckle sandwich to Rick Fox, a little more intense, but we're right back in it.
I don't think so, though, because, now you got to deal with the De'Aaron Fox Steph Curry connection.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the signing. Signing.
D is sport, rocking with Under Armour, rocking with Steph. Yeah. But I like what he said. Did you hear what the young man said?
I don't think so.
When they asked him, they said, you basically are under Curry's label, right?
Yeah.
For shoes and everything. He said, so how do you look at when you're out on the floor playing against him? He said, I don't give a beep who he is. I'm going at him.
Yeah.
I love that. Kick some more smoke on that rivalry. I'm here for all the smoke.
I love De'Aaron's attitude. He's got this sarcastic thing about him where he kind of acts like he doesn't really care, but he's always kind of throwing shade. Always kind of
for sure,
like planting seeds.
Bro, always got
a little remark.
Always got a little jab going. I like that. Because same thing with Steph. People look at Steph Curry, they're like, oh, he's just a nice guy, the light skin, the green eyes, non-threatening. Steph, don't get it wrong. Steph Curry's a killer.
He is a killer.
He's an assassin.
The older he's getting, too, the more
bro,
aggressive he's getting, like emotionally.
You know why?
He's taking on the fans.
You know why?
Why?
He letting everybody know I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still that dude.
Yeah.
And he's showing it more and more. And I like the way he do it because off the floor, he's a great guy, man. You know what? Off the floor, basketball is just a part of your life. And I understand that. You know, I've been in it for all of my life. And I understand it's all entertainment. And when you're on the floor, you are a different dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see me doing radio and all the media stuff, and okay, that's one side.
Yeah.
That's one side of HT.
That's
one
nice
side.
HT.
Yes. But you put me on that floor, I'm a total different dude.
I don't want to see you.
Exactly. I'm a total different dude.
I don't want to run into you on the floor.
So I understand that, but I like the way both of these guys go about transforming into both of these killers that they are on the floor.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's a great rivalry, like you said. Before the show started, I said to you, I'm starting to hate the Warriors, and I really am. That's the sign of a rivalry, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna tell you who push it more than anybody else, because we look at the teams, we say, okay, the teams push this rivalry, right? We say, okay, the players push the rivalry. Then we say, okay, the league is pushing this rivalry. You know who pushes it more than anybody else? The fans.
Yep.
Our fans legitimately do not like the Warrior fans and vice versa.
Yes.
And and it's like this, because I've been in both places. When the Warrior fans come into G1, our fans are hot. They are they ready to go. Yeah. And when we walk in to Chase Center, it's the exact same way. I'm telling you, man, Game 6 was fired up. I mean, the Warrior fans were on top of everything. That's what's making this rivalry real. It's the fans.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to get into the game a little bit if we're going to talk about it here. I thought the defense by the Kings, especially without Fox, was solid. Kept the Warriors to 102, which was one too many. They kept Steph to 21, which was kind of the game plan, right? It's like blitz Steph, prevent him, make someone else beat you. The problem is they have too much talent everywhere. And then you got Klay Thompson hitting a game winner. Steph on the court. Are you a big plus minus guy, Henry?
I hate it. I hate it. I
Okay.
hate the stat.
Okay.
I mean, the stat. I hate it because it doesn't show the true outcome and the output that's really put out there on the floor.
Yeah, it's a real controversial stat. I know not everyone's on board with that, but if you are, Steph was -6 from the field. The only positive starter for the Warriors was Klay Thompson. He was plus 10. So, you know, kind of take what you want from that. But you know what I did like from the Kings was at the end of the game, the final possession. Well, I guess it was technically the final possession the Kings had. The Sabonis gets the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the jumper. He didn't hesitate. He took it. He made it. That was great.
Right.
I think last year he may have hesitated in not taking that shot.
Oh,
We
yeah.
saw that in the playoffs, maybe not in a crunch time moment like that, but he 100% hesitated on those mid-range shots last year.
Oh, no. I mean, that was so apparent last year in the playoffs. And that was the Golden State Warriors, game plan for him. Because it was like, okay, we're not going to let anybody else beat us. Let him do it, because we know that he's more so a pass first player. So when he gets that ball at that mid range, we're gonna sack, we're gonna drop, and we're going to invite him to shoot. If he hits it, oh well, that's just part of our game plan. But if he doesn't, it disrupts everything else that the Sacramento Kings do. So for him to catch that ball and just didn't even hesitate to take the shot, that just shows another step, another part of the growth of Sabonis.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see that. I hope that continues throughout the year. He's not shooting amazing from the field. He's shooting 52% from the field, 33.3% from three. So that three ball is still going to come. I think he has the skills to really kind of maybe not master the 3-point, but make it a real threat.
I'll tell you this. I don't care about his 3-point at all. I don't care if he doesn't shoot not one, because that's not where you're going to really need Sabonis to be effective.
Do you think Mike Brown feels like that?
I don't know how Mike Brown feels. I mean, but I'm looking at what's best for the team. You know, here's the deal. Let's flip the script. Let's play devil's advocate. If Sabonis starts shooting more threes, and let's say he gets decent at it. I don't ever think he's going to be a great 3-point shooter, but let's say he gets decent at shooting threes. Well, what's going to happen when he still don't take that mid-range shot? and he can't make the mid-range shot, and the defense don't respect him for making that mid-range shot, then what you going to do? Now you got all 5 guys out around the three-point line. Do you ever think you will get a rebound?
Yeah, no, you're not. But I mean, speaking of rebounds, I'm liking JaVale McGee so far. How are you feeling?
I love what JaVale McGee brings.
What the Kings have been missing. Under the basket.
I will tell you this. When we signed JaVale McGee, I said right then and there, he will have the most impactful play for us because it checked off so many of the boxes. And when I say boxes, I'm talking about the holes that the Sacramento Kings had.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about defensively. I'm talking Mike Brownish type scenarios to where he's a shot blocker that checked. All right. He's a rim runner that checked. He's a rebounder that checked. He's a guy that deters shots in the middle that checked. Every that the Kings needed last year, JaVale McGee brings that on the defensive end. Last year, we had a Sabonis that really stayed in foul trouble for a long time, and we had to take him off the floor. And when we had to take him off the floor, we had to elect to go small. By the grace of God, Trey Lyles knocked down big-time shots to where that small ball lineup they had was deadly.
Yeah.
But now you can do both. You can do both because really you couldn't play small ball against Philly. You know?
No.
The big
Denver, no.
The big fella Embiid was going to have his way.
Yeah.
You know, so it was certain teams to where when Sabonis got into foul trouble, it was like what Shaq would say, barbecue chicken. It's like, okay, it's just going to be what it's going to be down low.
Yeah.
But now we got somebody who can battle down low. You know, I like what he does. And, you don't think that he's going to be playing, 25, 30 minutes for you, but he can definitely give you a good 12, 14, maybe a good 20-minute spurt.
Well, I think the Kings knew they had their guy, too, when they as soon as they signed McGee, I think within a day or two, Noel was waived. I think Kay was waived.
Right.
So they knew what they knew what they had, and they were ready to go. But we're going to take a break here. When we get back, I want to ask you about Colby Jones because we got to see a little run from him. Curious what you think about him. But before we do, I want to let you know that more than 100 youth from our community need a mentor, and you can help. Big Brothers, Big Sisters one-to-one mentoring program matches adult volunteers and children based on personal interests, life experiences, and geographic proximity. Call 916-646-9300. That's 916-646-9300, or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn about being a volunteer mentor. We'll get into more Kings talk after the break right here, Sactown Sports.
All right. We're live on YouTube. Nice job, Nate.
Thanks, Kyle.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks. I'm really giving it all I got, huh?
Absolutely.
Can you hear him or no?
No.
Okay, hold on.
All right. We're just going to flip Henry's mic settings real quick. What's up, YouTube people? You guys can drop any questions, comments, thoughts for Nate Littlefield. This is Nate's first time driving a game night like this. So if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, please drop them in the YouTube chat.
Is anyone talking in the chat? You got anything going on in there?
Just people saying hi. They agree with Henry about the Kings fans hating the Warriors and Warriors fans hating Kings fans. Yeah. The vibe of that rivalry is picking up. Your guy Tin is there. He's also on the phone line if you want to take his call at some point.
Okay,
but
we'll see. I feel like Kings fans were hating Warriors fans before it was cool.
Before it was cool, back when the Warriors had 4 championships and we had a 16-year playoff drought.
Let me tell you this. It's all about when your team is winning.
Yeah.
All right. You talk about the dynasty that the Warriors had. Yes, their fans were arrogant. Their fans were annoying. But it's like this. Their team was winning. They're coming in there supporting their team. I'll tell you what. I remember back in the early 2000s when the Kings were great. They wasn't good. They were great.
Yeah.
and they would load up 4, 5, 6 buses and go down to Golden State and just straight take over the Oakland Coliseum.
How did that work? Was there like a program you get into, or was it the actual Kings busing fans there?
It was the actual Kings busing fans there.
That is awesome.
And they bust, I mean, at one time he saw 6, 7 buses of fans going down there, and they took over the Oakland Coliseum. don't you think the Warrior fans were like, we hate them because their team is good and they get to come in here and just run all over us? It's all about whichever team is playing well. That's when they fans really get behind him. And if you're losing, you're going to take it personal.
Yeah. It's cool to hate the Warriors now, and I'm on board.
Nate's here to hate.
Especially, I mean, with Chris Paul, they got Chris Paul, I think people really, fans at least, really don't like him. You know, he's got that kind of attitude. You know, there's that clip, Henry, you ever see that clip of him? Steve Kerr says something to him. He's laughing in his face, turns around and goes totally blank-faced on him.
Kind of giving him the fake laugh, like the ha 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 ha.
I think he just does a lot of stuff like that. But I mean, you got to respect him as a player. He's elite. He's one of the best point guards to ever do it.
He's always been a winner.
Yeah.
Wherever he's been, he has made that team a contender. And whatever big man he has played with, he has made them a lot of money. We talked about it. You know, DeAndre Jordan need to still send Chris Paul some money. Him and Tyson Chandler both.
Yeah, definitely. Blake Griffin too.
We're coming back.
Not even mention Blake.
Coming back in 10. Rich was asking about Fox's status. De'Aaron is not playing today. He is out.
For personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters at Exergen.com. Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Welcome back into game night. No Scott Marsh, no Jason Ross tonight. You're stuck with Nate Littlefield, but you do get Henry Turner. And we want to talk Kings with you. Hit us up in the YouTube chat. We're live in the YouTube chat during the breaks. Call in. Maybe we'll get you on. We'll see what happens. But, Henry, I want to ask you about the new king. One of the new kings. There's a few new kings. Colby Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's been getting he got a little run in that Warriors game. He looked good. Right? Would you agree?
No, I like what Colby Jones been bringing ever since I saw the young man in Summer League. Yeah. I mean, he looks NBA ready.
Yeah, we did an interview with him, me and Frankie Cardicelli, our beat writer insider here at Sactown Sports, did us and him, just kind of a one-on-one interview. Mm-hmm. And he was so smooth and calm and just ready for it. Just like you could tell some about him. I didn't know at the time, but now looking back, you kind of go, okay, he had the it factor.
You can tell. How old is Colby Jones right now?
I think he's 19. Could be wrong. No, Kyle's.
I think he played a couple years in college.
See, you can tell when guys aren't one and done guys.
Okay.
You know, when you have to spend a couple of years in college, that's where you learn how to be a little more poised. But as far as his game goes, he reminds me of, him and Chris Huerter are almost like spitting images of each other.
Yeah.
You know, both of them are high energy guys. They love to play on the defensive end.
Lanky.
Long arm span. Have no problem with knocking down threes. I like Colby Jones because he isn't afraid of the moment. Mm-hmm. You know, he isn't like a regular rookie. Some rookies you can see when they get on the floor, they really defer.
His first basket was on Chris Paul, I'm pretty sure. He went right at it.
They deferred.
Yeah.
This young man plays basketball like he's been here for a while.
Yeah.
And you're right, Henry. He was a 3-year player in college at Xavier. He's 21 years old this year.
So I'm saying that totally you can definitely tell when guys who have spent a couple of years in college opposed to the ones that are one and done. And he looks like he's a guy to where if Mike Brown elects to go to him, I don't think that's going to be a negative thing. I think he's going to be able to hold his own out there on the floor.
Yeah. Well, then I got to ask you, this team's not 100% healthy right now. Trey Lyles out tonight.
Right.
De'Aaron Fox out tonight.
Right.
I texted one of our guys here at Sactown Sports, one of our other reporters, and I don't want to throw him under the bus or anything if he's wrong. But I guess it's looking like Trey Lyles might be out longer than just the weekend. He's not traveling with the team to Houston. So there could be chances for other guys to fit in or get more minutes. How does Colby fit into the team when they're 100% healthy? How does he get minutes? How's that going to work?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. First of all, I want to ask you, what's going on with Trey Lyles?
It's a calf injury.
But it's been forever.
I know. It seems lingering. I think what my guy also said to me is that it's his they get weird about it because of Achilles.
The Achilles problem, yeah,
So it gets really dicey. I mean, you saw what happened with like Durant.
And you know, and plus he's got some miles on his body. So yeah. I understand that much. But as far as the Kobe Jones situation, to keep it 100,
yeah,
Kobe Jones gets minutes when Mike Brown is going to make a decision on Kevin Huerter.
That's a great point.
Or if he makes a decision on the other guard, the other guy, he's going to have to make a decision on one of those two.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Do you mean Malik or do you mean
No.
Harrison?
Malik's going to be there.
Yeah, Malik's going to be there.
Yeah, Duarte.
Yeah, Duarte.
Yeah. Because right now, look at what we have at the 2 guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Huerter's there. His shot is just not there for some reason. It's not there. No. Hear me out. The shot isn't there. And I'm not really too concerned about his shooting because as a shooter, I understand that can come back at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
The one thing that really stands out to me is the defensive side. And Kevin Huerter is trying. He really is trying. But you know what the problem is, Nate? Every team that we play, it has to be in the scouting report.
Yeah.
They ISO Kevin Huerter and they go right at him. So when you're a player, and I'm sitting in the player seat right now. When you're a player and I'm like, man, I can't hit the side of a barn. You're worried about that first and foremost. And then you know your coach is on your back. Now I got to go down. I got to play D, and I don't want to get beat on the defensive end, and they ISO you every play down. That's double jeopardy right there.
Yeah.
That is double jeopardy. And in today's game, you're not stopping nobody one-on-one because if you touch them, it's a foul. So you really have to be a great defensive player to lock a guy up one-on-one. You're going to need help. And if your man gets past you anyway, anyhow, it's just magnified more because of who you are and how you're struggling on the offensive side.
Do you think he's doing enough outside of his shooting woes to stay in the starting lineup? And if not, how long do you think till he gets the axe?
I'll tell you what, the game against the Lakers, I really felt like, he did other things.
He was tipping the ball out. He was getting rebounds.
Yes, he did other
which is
things.
tough against a bigger Lakers team.
He was very aggressive. Things went his way. He even hit a couple of shots at the end.
He did.
So against the Lakers, I thought that, the overall scheme, he didn't play well. But like I said, he did other things, the rebounding, the tips, the deflections, getting steals, things like that. But when you're not knocking that shot down and you're not locking nobody up defensively, and now you got guys that's behind you, right? You got guys that's behind you. Duarte doesn't need any help one-on-one playing defense on a 2 guard. He can pretty much hold his own.
Yeah.
Same thing with the young rookie. All right. And then those guys, their jump shots are halfway decent. They're falling a little bit.
They can shoot.
And then these guys get to the basket and score.
Yeah.
So, when you coach Mike, at some particular point, you're going to have to really look at and evaluate which one of these guys is going to help you out the most.
Yeah, because when Huerter's hitting, I mean, I don't use this word lightly, but he's elite. I mean, when he's shooting, he's lights out shooter for sure. And that's why Mike Brown picked him to be a starter over Malik. Not the only reason, but that's one of the key reasons why he wanted to go with shooting. You look at the Kings offense last year, record breaking. If that's not going, you got to make a change either until it does or maybe permanently. I really don't know.
It's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's a tough call. And then, the one thing that I do know for sure, and I really feel solid about this, is when the Kings are in crunch time, I really feel like Malik Monk needs to be on the floor.
I do too.
I really feel Malik Monk needs to be on the floor. And it's for a couple of reasons, Nate. Number one, he can get his own shot. Number two, he's very efficient with the pick and roll with Sabonis and with JaVale McGee. He has the pocket pass to Sabonis. Works very well. He has the lob game going with JaVale McGee, pretty much unstoppable.
It's chemistry for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he can get downhill and he can score, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing is that he's handling the ball so he can take De'Aaron off the ball.
Yep.
Nobody is just standing there looking at De'Aaron and saying, okay, we're ready for you to go one-on-one. It gives the Kings so many more options, man. I really think he's the guy that needs to be out there in crunch time.
We've seen it with Malik, too, in crunch time takeover games for the Kings. We saw it in the Warriors series.
Bro, no. You saw it in the Laker game.
That's
overtime.
True. Yeah.
If Malik Monk doesn't do what he does, game over.
Yeah.
De'Aaron's out. Game over.
He's so critical to this team. I'm so happy they have an asset like that to come off the bench because sports cliche here, but it's like, it doesn't matter who starts. It matters who finishes.
That's what it's all about.
And I definitely think Malik should be finishing the game, even if Huerter's shooting at a high clip. I'm curious to see kind of how Mike Brown handles that going forward, how Kevin handles that going forward. But it's going to be really interesting, too, with Fox out to see kind of how they run all that.
Well, it's easier when Fox is out. But the thing about it is that I'm talking about when you have Fox on the floor, I think he's more valuable when Fox is on the floor than when he's off. Because last year, we got fourth quarter Fox. We're talking about crunch time now.
Yeah.
We're talking about who finishing the games, right?
Yeah.
We're talking crunch time, fourth quarter. Everybody knows. It's no secret. Everybody knows about fourth quarter Fox.
Yeah.
They're going to be on him.
He won the award.
Thank you. They're going to be on him. They're going to be looking for him to take over.
Yeah.
So you give him an option now. The ball is not in Fox's hands. It might end up in his hands still, but you get something going with Malik Monk. And if Malik Monk gets his offense going and helps to get guys get to the basket, you don't need fourth quarter Fox. You're playing good basketball.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter Fox really is in case of emergency break glass.
Yeah, he's a makeup for when the team doesn't do their job in the third.
Exactly. So if you got to break glass every game, well, he ain't gonna be nothing special. I'm telling you about after All-Star break.
Yeah.
So if you have Malik Monk in there, some games you don't have to be elite. You don't have to have fourth quarter Fox, and you go ahead and you win.
Well, so no Fox in the back-to-back games in Houston. Kings play tonight. They play Monday too in Houston. Fox from Houston. I think he wants to play there, but I hope they don't rush him back.
No need.
I don't think. Yeah, doesn't need to.
No need.
I feel like that sort of significance of playing in your hometown wears off by year 7, maybe. Like you don't need to. It'll be the only time this season, unless Houston makes the playoffs and the Kings play him, which is probably not happening, that De'Aaron will get the chance to play in Houston. But I mean, who cares? Who cares at this point?
I mean, I know the organization knows this. It ain't even a question. You have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Especially early on in the season like we are right now.
Tough schedule.
I mean, we ain't even 10 games in yet.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, okay, well, De'Aaron playing in Houston. Well, bro, you know what? If you don't get a chance to play here on these 2 games, oh, well, so what? We need you way more. And we got other bigger fish to fry. We got more important games where you're going to have to be on the floor.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to go to break here. When we come back, we're going to go around the league. I want to ask you some stuff about what's going on with Memphis, what's up with Dame, bunch of stuff. But before we go, I want to remind you, Game Night's brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Visit mbofstockton.com for new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Game Night right here. Nate Littlefield, Henry Turner, Sactown Sports, 1140.
All right. Nice job.
Almost forgot our call sign there. Almost at 11:30. Made up station, but yeah,
that would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah,
Verlad would have cut that for sure.
Yeah,
I would have personally sent it to him if you had done it.
Yeah, Memphis is a disaster. I don't want to get too much into it now, but that Huerter thing, I was so stoked when Huerter came to Sac because I was a pretty big fan of that. I liked watching that Atlanta team.
You mean the one that beat the Sixers in that series where Ben Simmons passed up the ball? Yeah,
they were fun. I also played. They were my 2K team too when I played with my friends. So I'd be shooting a lot with Huerter and Collins and Trey. But they were kind of like a Warriors light in 2K.
Mm-hmm.
In 2K, not in real life. But so it sucks to see these.
Well, their old general manager also came from the Warriors organization. So his whole plan was like Trae Young is baby Steph Curry and Huerter is baby Klay Thompson, and we'll build it from there. And
can you look up when the trade deadline is?
NBA?
Do you know what it is?
I know it's usually like.
Oh, that's the play they're talking about.
Oh, what?
Right here. Did Draymond Green touch that ball?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but it was they thought it was a goaltend, and they said no goaltend. I think it was.
He hit
He
the rim.
100% touched it.
No, he hit the rim.
Which is goaltending, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He hit the rim.
God, dude, I hate those guys.
He definitely hit the rim. Now, he didn't hit the ball, but he hit the rim. And technically, if the ball is about to go into the cylinder and you hit the rim, that's goaltending.
Can you hit the backboard when that's happening?
Yeah, you can hit the backboard.
Okay. So I can run up and bang on the backboard.
No, long as it don't sway.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to like get contact with the ball before you hit the backboard or something like that. Also, the trade deadline's February 8th this year.
You think the Kings are going to be active, Henry? Deadline? It's pretty early, but
for this team, you really have to. I mean, you have the luxury to where you only have to get a piece. Now, Kevin Huerter is a good piece, but to move a guy like that, you're gonna have to get something big time back.
yeah, it's weird with Huerter too because there's that first round pick that's in limbo with Huerter that I think they have another year to wait until that becomes.
Yeah, it's 2025.
But you're gonna have to get a two guard that really like. I tell you what, let's kind of like rewind to the beginning of the season.
Okay.
And I'm just playing armchair GM here. If you could have moved Huerter and that pick to get
Are you thinking Drew Holiday?
Yeah, to get Drew Holiday.
Oh man,
you're gonna have to get that type of caliber
that's
player.
a championship move,
right?
Yeah, no, that's
right. Before you make a push, you got to get a guy like that.
I didn't even think about that.
The way things stand right now, I don't really think there's any championship caliber players that are going to be available. I mean,
That's the thing.
say what you will about like OG Anunoby, but he's not
He's
like
not for us.
That's not Drew Holiday.
He's not for us anyway.
Yeah. All right, we're back in 5 seconds.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Welcome back to Game Night. Nate Littlefield stepping in for Scott Marsh. We got the high flyer here. We're going to go around the league a little bit. Henry, I want to start with Memphis. They lost their 7th game in a row.
Woo!
They don't have a win on the season, and that doesn't feel good. Last year, the Kings started 0-4, and I believe the year before that, they were 0-6. Was that the year they went to India, or was it the year before that?
I think that was the year before.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, we've been there, but Memphis kind of had higher expectations this season, and last year without Ja Morant, they played well.
They did, but look who they had running the show. They had Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
Tyus Jones is a very good point guard. People really slip on him. He's very underrated, but he ran that basketball club very good. And then you have to understand they had the big man, Steven Adams. He was still in the middle.
Yeah.
Right before he got hurt. And now Brandon Clark, the guy that comes off the bench that really sets the tone as the big man in that second unit, he isn't there also.
Yeah.
So really, you're playing with a third string center and Ja Morant, right? Ja's not there.
Yeah.
You're missing him.
They got Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart is no Ja Morant.
I agree.
And
I
he
agree.
and he doesn't play the same way that Colby Jones ran the basketball club. Marcus Smart is going to be able to help you. He's going to be a leader. He's going to be great on the defensive end, but he's just now getting there. So he's got to gel with his team.
Yeah. It's messy. So they got 18 games before he comes back. It's quite a while. If you had to predict kind of what do you think their record is by game 26?
I don't know, man, because it seems like right now they are just struggling. They are struggling big time. So, don't know, man. I mean, just dealing with the Ja Morant situation by themselves, the Memphis Grizzlies is looking like they're in turmoil.
Yeah. Do you think? Okay, let's say they win like 7 games. So they're 7-18 by the time Morant gets back. Is that too big of a hole to get out of for them to make the playoffs, or at least the play in? The West is tough. The Spurs look good. Blazers are kind of decent.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not really an off night in the West.
No, there's not.
I mean, because, people looking at OKC. OKC is nice. They got some talent, bro.
Holmgren's back.
Hey,
Yeah.
and they're going to win some games. So it's not an easy night in the West.
No.
But I think if you can get everybody back, the Steven Adams thing is going to be big for them.
Yeah. Especially in the West with all these bigs.
Steven Adams thing is going to be huge for them because, you really can't plug and play a guy in that does what he does. Mm-hmm. Even when you get Brandon Clark back, Brandon Clark will help, but Steven Adams was the anchor on their defensive ship. So it's going to be tough, man. They're going to have to find a way.
He's a bruiser for sure. I don't really want to see Memphis in the playoffs personally. I think they take a year off, stay out. But I'm not a huge fan. I do want to get into Milwaukee though. They won last night. They started the tournament, had the in-season tournament. What do you think about all those courts? By the way, you seen all those courts?
Yeah, they're bright.
They are bright. Yeah. What do you think about the Kings? So the Kings, it's a gray on the outside, and there's like a line that goes through the middle, like basically the width of the key. Touches it's like the royal blue. What do you kind of
what? Anything that brings the blue back, man, for me, it's old school because I played in the blues.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
I'm always be partial to the dark blue, the light blue.
Yeah.
I think I may be the only King that played in all three colors.
Really?
The light blue, the dark blue, and then
Dark purple.
Then the purple and black.
Huh. That's some trivia right there. I might have to look into that one. That's interesting. But regardless, Milwaukee's 4-2. They beat the Knicks last night, 110-105. It wasn't as close as kind of the score would say. I was at dinner kind of passively watching that game. Yeah, in-season tournament, kind of a weird thing, this tournament. It's confusing. Kings don't have their first game until almost a week from today. Right. 6 days. They got OKC, which again, another tough team. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. I hope Fox is back for that one.
Yeah. I mean, OKC is a up and coming young basketball club, man. They got some very good talent there. They got a legitimate all-star. They got a very good point guard. They got a very good big man. They're gonna make some noise in a minute.
Yeah. Do you like? I'm sure you've talked about this before, but what's kind of like your general feelings on this in-season tournament? Now that it's going too, it's kind of a little different. It's really weird. It's like snuck up. It's just here now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to see how it goes. I mean, I'm loving that the guys can make some extra money. Whenever you can make some extra money, I'm cool with it. I think it's an experiment that the league is really just throwing out there to try to cultivate some more basketball. But we'll see how well it goes.
Yeah, I think things are really gonna ramp up when they get to Vegas, and it's kind of more like it's more real.
I tell you what, as long as the players are engaged, it'll be okay.
Well, yeah, I mean the games count. So the games count towards your regular season record.
See, that's the thing. Long as the players are engaged, because when you start getting players saying, man, I ain't worried about that game right there. But like you said, it counts on the regular season. I think that's what's going to keep everybody's eyes open.
Well, I tried to get into Milwaukee a second ago, but they got your guy Dame on the team. Dame from Oakland. You're from Oakland. You got roots to Dame's people, Dame's family. Can I say that?
Yeah.
What do you think about him in Milwaukee? They're 4-2. I know before the season we talked off air about them just being dominant. They're starting to gel a little bit here. I think it's going to take a while, but how do you feel? How far do you think they can go?
I think they can go all the way,
or they will. I mean, maybe.
Look at what's going on right now. They're 4-2.
Yeah,
that's a good record.
Solid.
That's a solid record, and they haven't jailed yet. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're starting out like Memphis.
Yeah.
0-7. And he's like, okay, well, is this Dame thing really going to work? Well, they're going to lose some games. I'm not saying they're going to win out. Of course, they're going to lose some basketball games, but they're still winning, bro. So they're going to find their way. What's going to happen if you're 4-2 and you haven't jailed yet? Where do you think they're going to be once they start clicking?
Very true. Yeah. But something you did mention earlier, I think it was in the YouTube break, that we're talking about Drew Holiday. He's not there anymore. It's kind of
right.
Big piece for that team, and he goes to the Celtics, which is pretty brutal. I kind of feel like the Celtics are going to do it this year. They've been knocking on the door for a while. I know I don't, it's annoying when you have that franchise who's won 1,000 championships right back in it, but it seems like they're a real threat to every other team in the NBA.
I'm going to tell you the pros and cons on both sides of that trade. For Milwaukee, you have to make that trade. All right. Number one, you have Giannis, once in a lifetime, once in a generation type player. You signed him, you got him locked up, but he's telling you straight out, if you don't bring somebody in here that keeps me happy here in Milwaukee, I'm ready to go. All right. So you go out and Dame Lillard is dangling. Nobody ever thought that Milwaukee wanted to get rid of Jrue Holiday. Milwaukee didn't.
Yeah.
They really didn't.
Yeah.
Because they was happy with what Jrue did. But in order for you to get Dame, you're going to have to get rid of one of your main players. And as bad as it hurt all the Milwaukee people, you had to do it to get Dame. Now, what does it do for your basketball team? All right. Before, you had a dominant guy in Giannis to where when you needed a basket, in order to beat Milwaukee, all you had to do was build the wall to make him go over because he's not knocking down shots.
Yeah.
And at the end of every game, the ball was in Giannis' hands. Okay, you bring in a Dame Lillard. Are you going to let Dame just stand in the corner and shoot threes?
From a mile away?
From a mile away?
Yeah, from the
No.
logo?
When you need a last second shot, you don't have to worry about the ball being in Giannis' hands and him turning it over. You got the ball in Dame Lillard's hands. And you got Giannis running down the floor. So, yeah, you lose a little bit on the defensive end, but you gain so much on the offensive side. It's ridiculous.
It offsets it, yeah.
And then you look what you have behind you. You still have Middleton. You still have Giannis. You still have Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
You still have the brunt work of your core on the defensive side. And it isn't like Dame's a liability on defense.
No.
But of course, he's not a Jrue Holiday, but at the end of the day, he brings so much more to your team offensively. You can lose a little bit on the defensive side because you still have your defensive core.
Yeah, I'm man, the East is going to be fun. It's a good year for basketball, Henry. East and West, a lot of mix-ups.
Now, I will tell you this. The Boston Celtics won the lottery.
Yeah.
You lose Smart. I thought that was a big hit for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, Smart left. He was the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah.
Right?
He had green hair.
But you get back Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
You get back Jrue Holiday. Now, they lost a defensive wizard for their team. Now you get back probably one of the best two-way guards in the league in Jrue Holiday, and he can facilitate on the offensive end. He can score. He can play defense 1 through 3. Did you replace Smart? No doubt, with a better version.
Yeah.
So you talk about, do they have enough to get there? They have upgraded, no doubt.
So before we go to break, I want to ask you just real quick, who do you think makes it to the finals for the East? I know it's early, but
I think it's going to be a two-man race.
Milwaukee and Celtics?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to be a two-man race. Right now, I don't think Philly's got enough.
No. I mean, they're still reeling from
losing
Mr. LA. Yeah.
Right. I don't think Philly has enough. Brooklyn's going to be okay, but I don't think they have enough. I would still like to see New York in the playoffs. I think whenever the Knicks are, a pretty decent team, and
they proved it last night. They had a great game against the Bucks.
Yeah,
Brunson looked good.
They get to be in the playoff run. It's always good to have the Mecca there.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, Atlanta, Indiana.
Yeah.
Washington, no.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think those top two is Miami going to be able to make some noise?
I think so. I mean, they made it as a 10 last year, 10 seed, made it to the finals. So just, I don't know. They'll turn it up. Jimmy Butler, he's more of a playoff guy. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is crazy. We're going to go to a break here. When we get back, we're going to preview the Kings matchup with the Houston Rockets tonight. But before we do that, I want you to experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact Power Business at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. When we come back, we're going to preview the game tonight, me and Henry, on Sactown Sports, 1140.
Nice job. We are on YouTube still, though. Also, Nate, you're going to be out at 24.
24 on the dot. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I like that. What are people talking about on YouTube? I mean, I'm sure people are excited about the game tonight. Let's see. Yeah, I think people are ready. The Kings last year, I saw this stat that they were, I think, 24-8 or 9 against teams that were below 500, and that was a team that won 48 games last year. So obviously, winning these games and the ones like the Rockets are probably going to be below 500 this year. So like winning those games specifically is going to be a big deal for the Kings.
For sure. And they got to win those home games.
Now, let me ask you this, Nate. We were talking about trying to really solidify that 2-guard position.
Yeah.
So you got Kevin Huerter and you got a draft pick. How would you feel if they turned that into somebody like Zach LaVine?
A guy who's always been rumored to be coming here. I think I would feel good. I would feel that feels more like a championship move than OG to me.
I would like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a risky move for maybe not even risky, but that's like a Monty, like, all right, look at me. Here we go.
I'll tell you, at the 2-guard spot, Zach, you're going to need a guy like that.
Is Vivek willing to pay into the luxury tax?
To upgrade. I know it's going to cost,
yeah.
but I'm saying, but you're going to need a guy like that caliber before you start talking about moving on from Huerter.
No, you're right. It's got to be a sizable upgrade, and it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do that. I mean, what you're sending a first-round pick and Huerter? Yeah.
First-round pick, Huerter, and salary filler.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming back just right about now.
The Kings are running it back.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes. Alex Len just went above the iron with a two-hand throwdown. And that was as nasty as we've seen him in a Kings uniform.
And welcoming some new faces.
Oh, and here comes Vezenkov. He gets the big finish. Fisher rejected by Mr. Vezenkov.
Keep it locked on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com for the latest Kings news. Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Welcome back to Game Night. Final segment here. Henry's asking me some wild questions in the YouTube breaks. I'm not even going to get into it because if you want to hear it, you got to listen on YouTube. It's the good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is that you always have to think about, and that's why these guys get paid the big money. You know, you have a good basketball team. The Sacramento Kings are a good basketball team, but you always have to figure out ways to make this team better.
Yeah.
And some of the moves that you might have to make in order to make the team better might not be the popular move.
Yeah. Well, look at the Halliburton trade.
Exactly.
The whole city caught on fire when that trade was done. Everyone was so upset. And would you not we're not a playoff team if you swap Sabonis for Halliburton last year?
Of course not.
That's not a controversial take. I don't think at all. I think everyone's happy to be out of the hole. I think everyone was happy with that trade except for Tyrese.
I will tell you this. No. I'm gonna tell you what. It was a bunch of Sacramento Kings fans that wasn't happy.
I mean, right now.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about when it happened, though.
Yes.
It wasn't the popular trade. And I had a bunch of people hit me up. What's going on, HT? The Kings moving Halliburton? I said, hey, I understand this. I love Halliburton. Love the dude. As a player, as a guy off the floor, loved him. Great. I say, but what you have to understand is that when you get a chance to get a solidified all-star on your roster, you have to make that pull.
Yeah.
You know, that's like when Kevin Durant comes up, everybody is willing to sell the house, the farm, and all the furniture for that guy. You know, if Steph would ever come up as a free agent, everybody's going to sell everything. It's a once in a generation type player. You have to make it, and you got to get up off some good assets to get a great asset.
Yeah, 100%. Talking trades is a lot of fun here. It's fun to do those hypotheticals, but we got to talk about the game tonight. What do you think about the matchup down low between Şengün and Sabonis? Those are two, I mean, pretty similar players, right? A lot of people think Şengün is Sabonis light. A lot of people think Sabonis is Jokic light. So take what you want from that.
No. Come on now.
But
I love bonus.
Yeah.
Jokic and bonus shouldn't even be in the same conversation.
Well, Şengün, he's having a great season. They're honestly almost the numbers are pretty similar between him and Sabonis, about 19 points each per game. But I think that'll be a fun matchup for sure. That's a young up and coming center, came from OKC.
Right.
What are you thinking about those two going at it down low?
You know what? I've only seen a couple of guys give Sabonis problems. Just a couple.
Kayvon Looney.
Usually Sabonis eats up every big center that he deals with. You know, being physical, I have no problem with Sabonis going head to head. It's only two players that I don't want to see him go mano-a-mano with, and that's the big two centers, the big MVP candidates, Jokic and Embiid, the only two. The other centers, I think Sabonis can hold his own physically with them anyway, anyhow. Now, when you start talking about what happened between him and Looney is just a rebounding machine.
Yeah, he is.
And I think more so Sabonis was more in his head than more than what Looney did to him.
Do you not put Anthony Davis in that category?
Anthony Davis is not a center, man.
Yeah, okay.
AD a power forward, yeah,
right.
And you can run out AD at small forward. Really, it's the way AD plays. AD game is out around the rim.
Yeah,
you know, AD ain't a physical player. Yeah. You know, do you ever see AD just bag anybody down like Barkley or Shaq like that? No, he's a finesse player.
Because then he's out for 3 weeks when that happens.
But believe me, he got on street clothes.
Yeah, street clothes. Yeah. Dang it! I forgot. I wanted to talk to you last segment about Wemby too. Just briefly. What
the unicorn?
Are you watching? You watching games? I saw him the other day sneak behind the entire team and get in alley-oop, just like barely even took a step, just grabbed the ball and just put it in the basket.
Bro, I'm seeing some things from him. I mean, I've only had a chance to watch highlights. And come on, and you know this. Anybody can look good on a highlight reel.
For sure. For sure.
But some of the things I've seen him do, I'm like, whoa.
It's weird.
Whoa.
He shouldn't be able to move like that.
Because here's my deal. When Porzingis came into the league, he was the first unicorn. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's 7 foot. He plays around the perimeter. He can handle the basketball. He can shoot. He was supposed to be the first freak of nature as far as, you know, with guys coming over, being able to stretch the floor at that size. But Porzingis, for me, never really had a dominant inside game to where he was able to utilize that to open up that outside game. You know, for me, I would just put a guard on Porzingis and say, pressure him.
Yeah.
Because he's never going to bag him down. But Wemby is different.
Yeah.
He will recognize that he has a small guy and will take him right to the rim and score over the top.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't like he elects to stay outside. He will go down low and punish guys.
Yeah. He's going to be exciting to watch. Dangerous for the Kings too. But for tonight, no Trey Lyles, no De'Aaron Fox. Eason's out for Houston. Should be back soon, but Houston's healthy for the most part. Oladipo will be back at some point. Fred VanVleet, we got to talk about this. Got a huge payday in the offseason. 3-year.
Got broke off.
Yeah, $130 million.
Hey, Freddie, let me borrow something, baby.
Yeah, Fred.
I know you got it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great player. It's just crazy. I mean, Houston had to spend some money, but just real quick before we get out of here, Henry, who are you most excited to watch tonight on the Rockets?
The Rockets have a very young team. They got a couple of good young pieces. My thing tonight, Nate, when the rubber hits the road, the Kings got to have this game.
Yeah.
The Kings are a much better team than the Rockets, and they have to come out and show it. The Kings are a better team without the Rockets, without De'Aaron Fox, without Trey Lyles. They're still the better team, and they should come out and show their dominance tonight. If you want to be a good team and be considered a dominant basketball club, you got to beat the team you're supposed to beat.
Let's go, Henry.
I'm with it.
You're getting me excited, dude.
Want all the smoke, baby.
Yeah.
Let's start the barbecue right now.
So Kings favored by 3 points tonight. Saw that on Bleacher Report. I feel like it should be a little bit more, but whatever.
More than that.
Yeah, I know. No Fox.
I will go over. I will go over.
I'll take the over on that. But thanks everyone for listening to Game Night. Got pregame coming up. Tip off with the G-Man here in about an hour.
All the smoke, man. Bring it.
Let's crush them. Bring
Bring all the smoke. Barbecue, baby.
I'm Nate Littlefield. That's Henry Turner. Thanks for listening to Game Night, Sactown Sports, 1140.
Ribs and chicken.
All right. Nice job, you guys. See you later, YouTube people. Talk to you guys on Monday.
With a two-hand throwdown. That was as nasty as we've